Hola, controllers, bienvenidos a su podcast El After. El día de hoy tenemos un invitado muy especial, STARLAB. How are you, my friend?
Good, good. I'm doing great, man. So nice to be back in Mexico.
And so happy to have you here back.
My pleasure.
So here basically, first we want to thank Gomix for the opportunity of bringing you here to the Equinox Festival in March in 2025. And here basically is people to know your story, like where you're from, what was your first approach into music. Tell us that magic moment that you heard this electronic music or scientist music that changed your life and put you in this path until today.
Yeah. So, my musical journey goes way back. I was a little kid, and my mom, she's into Indian classical music. Like, she's a singer. So she started me on learning how to sing and play Indian classical music at a very young age. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. With her guru, as we call it, the teacher used to come to the house. And, from there, I started to play in bands. I was playing in a rock and metal band for a long, long time, actually, like maybe almost 10, 11 years. I played the bass in a rock band. This was like the huge learning for me. Just being involved in music since a very, very young age.
Oh,
Yeah.
And what kind of music did you play in the horror band? Did you play like covers?
Yeah, some covers, and we played our own originals as well. We released an EP and like later on, like a short format album as well. So yeah, I mean, there was a time I was all about the rock and roll and the metal and all that. I still am. I mean, I feel like I still have a lot of influences coming from there in my music. Like Tool is one of my favorite rock bands, metal rather, and very psychedelic music. I think that was kind of my first taste of, something more mystical, something more mysterious, something other than the usual. So I think that was kind of my stepping stone of kind of, moving into producing psychedelic trance.
Yeah, I think there's a big relationship between like heavy rock and roll and side.
Definitely, I feel that. Like metal music, I feel is very psychedelic in a way. It's there's a lot of depth to the music.
Yeah,
Just like psytrance. So
yeah, specifically with Tool, like they
Yeah.
have like very psychedelic covers. I remember that my first Tool album was a Lateralus.
Oh yeah,
And-
same actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, a very good friend gave it to me, and when I saw the art and the cover, I was like impressed. Like this is so deep. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Same feelings, I think.
oh, and you have. I imagine you had the opportunity to see Tool live.
Yes, I did in Portugal. This was 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
Too bad that you missed the tour from Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah, I keep checking where they're playing, when I'm traveling. And somehow, if possible, I can even stay a few days more just to catch them. This is what happened in Portugal. I was already on tour in Europe. And I was like, oh, holy shit. Tool is playing at the same time and I'm in Portugal. So I had to buy the tickets and I bought very expensive tickets. Like it was already like resale. So I spent some crazy amount on the tickets, but I was like, screw it, It's just worth it.
I feel here in at least in my city, they were not that expensive.
Wow.
Only the meet and greet expensive. Only the meet and greet package
did
was no. I didn't. I usually do with my favorite bands,
Yeah.
like Dream Theater.
Yeah, nice. One of my favorites as well.
I met them on Los Angeles.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like $300. Everything great experience.
Nice.
For Tool on my city was 350.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like Tool, but it's not like my favorite band.
I see.
So I like to attend to the concerts. I also I'm a heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
I come here to Mexico City to see Metallica and Iron Maiden. I'm going to see Judas Priest on May on my city.
That's cool. Mexico gets a lot of bands, I think.
Yes.
Not so much in India, We're not so lucky there.
That's too bad. What part are you from India? Are you from?
I live in Goa.
Well,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, the birthplace,
The best place.
as they say.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to go soon to Goa. It will be like
Please come and look me up. We're happy to show you around.
Oh, sure. I will tell Amplify.
Yeah.
Andrew.
He's coming next year, so maybe you guys come at the same time or something.
Yeah, I'll talk to him soon. So make like a DJ package.
Yeah.
So, okay, you were like making music, you rock and roll, you launched your EP. At what time in history do you get into electronic music?
Yeah, so it was, I would say, quite like a sudden kind of a shift. It was all thanks to a psychedelic experience I had at a beach party in Goa. I think this was back in 2004 or something like that. I was on a school kind of a trip with my high school buddies. We just kind of finished high school and they'll be like, oh, let's go to Goa. You know, Goa is like a holiday destination for us, you know, in India. It's not just about parties. It's also like a family place and also like a place where people come on holidays, right? So we were all like, okay, we finished school, so let's all go to Goa for a holiday. And we went there, and two of my very close friends, I think they were already into the music, and they had experience going to parties and stuff. And they told me, they're like, look, you know, come with us. We're going to take you to this place, Shiva Valley, and you're going to really love it. I'm sure. Come with us, and we will have a really good time. I was a little apprehensive, but you know, finally I agreed, and we went, and we had the most beautiful experience. I think it was GMS playing there that night. I heard GMS for the first time, both Riktam and Bansi. And yeah, we spent the whole night on the beach, just having a very, very deep and mystical psychedelic experience. I think one of the best experiences of my life. So I think that experience was like something which really pushed me into trying to learn how this music is made. And you know, I just wanted to be a part of this, you know. And I think even today, like what I like to bring to the table is what I want to hear on the dance floor, and like what I enjoy to listen and dance to is what I try to recreate for other people. The same experience that I had, I want to create the same for other people as well.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, completely true. Because sometimes people start making music, but they don't have an idea. They just want to make it. It's very good since you were already a musician and you already have like that career of launching music. It was very cool that you have your own proposal, your own idea.
Yeah, that really helped a lot, you know, because I already had the kind of innate knowledge of music, very self-taught, you know, like even when I was learning bass and stuff like that and playing in bands, like I didn't really have a teacher, like I just picked it up, you know. So for me to pick up the psytrance production, I felt like, you know, that was kind of an advantage. So I went to a music school. I in fact even went to do a full program in the United States like later on. But I was already like kind of figuring out how to do it myself. You know, this is not something they teach you in music school, right? It's not like they're teaching you genres. I mean, you know, they teach you how to make music, and you use the tools that are given to you, you know, to do whatever you want. So I chose to learn how to make psytrance, and you know, one thing led to another, and just became bigger and bigger and bigger. You know.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And actually, I understand because, well, at least you have already the knowledge about how to make a track, the notes, progression.
Yeah, arrangements, you know, things like that. And I feel like, you know, having the experience slowly of playing, performing for different dance floors, you know, all around the world, you start to understand what kind of works, you know. And every time I go out to play, I'm playing my own music and I'm like, you know, this is something I can try next time. Like maybe, you know, I can try this little differently or do this little differently. So I think the part of actually going out and playing and performing is a huge part of the learning process as well.
Yeah. And before having STARLAB, do you have a name prior as a DJ or?
No, I was playing in a band.
Okay.
Yeah, we were called Cyanide. And I think right after that, I just like very suddenly kind of got into electronic music, because before that, I was one of those guys who was like a purist, you know, music can't be made with computers. It's not like the right way to make music with software. You need to make music with real instruments. I was like a kind of a snob like that, and I was really very wrong. And when I heard psytrance music for the first time, I was like, okay, this is something which is something else. Like, need to figure this out, and for that you have to learn software. So that's what I did, basically. Yeah, like quite suddenly after that. Pretty much quit playing in bands and straight away started to, work on this project.
And why STARLAB?
I think I was watching too many sci-fi movies. But it's there's a lot of I thought a lot about it, because people ask me a lot this question, and I think like psytrance as a music style, it has a lot of depth, and space is something which is very deep and very mysterious, and there's so many levels to that, and understanding, there's a big science behind that and everything, of course. And for me, that's always a point of curiosity. So I think the star part kind of represents psytrance as a music style, and lab is like, doing crazy sonic experiments, as like an observer and as a creator. So I think, if that makes sense,
No, yeah, this is like very similar to GMS, like rolling mad scientist.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that. There is a relation there, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, a lot of DJs, producers are here at the lab where the magic happens.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. True. But I think I came up with it before, because this is before Instagram, this is before Facebook. So yeah, I did it first.
okay, now we have it here.
Yeah.
You make it. Yeah. When was this? Around like 20?
Yeah, so I think the first time I kind of started to dabble in just trying to gather resources and things. Like, there was not much out there back then, in terms of YouTube and all that. Like, this is, I think, just the beginning of YouTube around that time. And I just started to kind of figure it out, like reading forums. Like, there used to be this forum called Isra Trance. So there was like a thread on that, like a message board, where somebody wrote how to make a psytrance bass line with Silent. It was like the go-to kind of synthesizer back then. It still is, it's still great.
That's very good.
And I kind of just looked up, just reading on the thread, okay, dial it like this much, the attack should be this, the decay should be this, blah, 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 cut off like this. It's all written down. Nobody's showing you, and you just read and you try to copy it and you kind of start to make it. So going back to your question in terms of like the year, I think it was probably like 2010 or something like that. 2010 or 2009, 10 is when I started to first try, and that took a while. It took a few years to just even have like a semblance of a track ready, which you can be proud of, which you can actually be like, okay, I can play this. So I think the first time I played live was 2011 or something, and I was already kind of playing my own tracks in that, and without any prior experience of DJing or anything like that. So yeah, Ableton sets, basically, essentially. Yeah, like one of the early versions of Ableton, I think.
Yeah, well, it was before Ableton Live. It was Ableton. I remember the
But yeah, it was already Ableton Live, but it was, I think, one of the early versions. I can't remember which version it was. It was not one. It was, I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Ableton. Yeah, 2010, it was like Logic Pro 4.
Yeah.
Cubase, I don't remember the name. It was Nuendo.
Yeah, all that Reason and stuff also
Reason.
was quite popular then.
Yeah, now 2025 things changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you started, and your first gig was in Goa.
No. The first
Which
gig
was?
was in Delhi, in my hometown, like where I'm originally from.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, just like a small club in the city. It was quite nice actually. It was called the Zoo. It was in a really like cool part of town. And back then, I mean, just call my friends. I think it was my friends were really supportive. Like they would come, 50 of them would come like maybe every 2 weeks. We used to have like a night, and they used to all come every 2 weeks, or like 50, 60 friends and like acquaintances, like everybody would come, and it was really cool actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very important, that support.
Oh
That you have at the beginning.
Oh yeah, 100%. Huge support from family as well. They've always kind of believed in my vision, I want to say. So yeah,
And that's also
big
very
up to
good,
them as well.
because on those years, DJ producer was not as big as today, right?
It was not. I think, especially like India, is it's a very different kind of society, more conservative society. So having music as a serious career choice is not something which is acceptable, or was acceptable in those days to parents. The kids coming and saying, "Hey, I want to be a musician." It was not something which they would be like, "Yeah, cool, go do it." Now it's different, of course. There's much more money, and there's it's recognized as a more serious profession now. Yeah, different in those days.
Yeah, I really don't know a lot of the culture from India. For me, India, I know about Bollywood.
Yeah.
It's like a impressive industry.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge. All the biggest influencers, YouTube and everything, are like amazing. Because tell me if this is true, that YouTube is free for the cell phones, as data plans.
No, it's not free. Like I have Premium, for example.
No, but the data consumption from your cell phone plan. Like, for example, here in Mexico,
Yeah.
you have free social media. You can go into
Oh, yeah.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, this exists. I think it depends on the provider.
Okay.
So the service provider, I think they give like free social media, and like free data and all that. Like it's quite cheap. India, is known to have very cheap and reliable internet. More or less.
Yeah, because I was reading about social medias and business, and I saw that in India, the reason why the biggest YouTube channels in the world are from
Yeah,
India is
yeah.
because it was very, for example, here in Mexico, it's not free YouTube. You see a video 180p or 4K,
Yeah.
your data, your gigabytes used up very,
Yeah.
very quickly.
True.
Then in India was not such a problem, and that's the reason like a lot of people can go in.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think you have a point there. Yeah, that data is, I think, generally is quite cheap compared to other countries, and also like we have a huge population. It's a huge population. So it's like your Indian YouTubers, mostly their followers are Indians, and there's already such a big audience inside the country that allows them to, in their native language, become really big YouTube stars, I think.
Yeah, that's what the Bollywood industry is.
Yeah.
amazing.
That is a topic that you have for your YouTube channel, and that has a lot of kind of reach. It's so mainstream.
Yeah, well, I'm impressed. That's what I don't know. For India, is what more gets into here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Bollywood stuff.
Yeah, it's impressive, and also the data, because I like to read a lot about YouTube and social media and how the careers of the YouTubers. Because even though I'm a producer and I'm a DJ now, I've been working now in social media, making content, and I try to learn from the best and strategies.
There's always something you can learn from others, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And after you have your first gig in your hometown in Delhi, which one was your first international party?
So I think my first international party was actually in Portugal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I was already traveling there.
Okay.
I was already traveling there with my family, and I think maybe I had like a few gigs I already in India, like I had just been playing locally, in my city. And there was a festival in Porto, in Portugal. And I was kind of already traveling in the area. And I just connected with this festival. I saw the flyer on Facebook or something. And I said, look, hey, I'm so and so from India. I'm coming, and no money. Okay, like I was not paid anything. I was just there. So I went and I played, and it was a great festival. It was a super experience for me because first time I played for people outside my country, and as a kid, and it's such an important stage, like rather like a step. Is that like you learn so much from these kind of experiences? So went and played there for free and like just for fun, for experience. So I think that was my first international gig, and then I think the first one where I was actually kind of paid and flights and all that and everything was Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah, Experience Festival.
Wow.
Yeah, so shout out to them. Joe Moon Tribe, amazing guy. He's the first one who kind of booked me to play, internationally. So yeah, super.
It's such an amazing story.
Yeah, it's a great party. It's a great one. They started, I think now again after COVID, they closed down because of COVID, and now they're starting up again. So yeah, it's a great festival. I'm really happy that they come back.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to Thailand or India, but I imagine that the scene and
Wow, bro.
impressive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hope I go soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wow, so happy that you've been there. And well, you have been playing in a lot of in big international parties.
Yeah.
Which one for you was like the party that you said like, oh, I made it? Like all those years making music and working hard and learning about music, like make you feel like,
Well, I think it happened to me 2 times. I think the first time it happened to me where I got the kind of feeling that, wow, like I'm actually getting somewhere was Universal Parallelo.
ah, good.
Yeah. So
Was it-
2016, 17 or 17, 18, I think the new year, I went there. So I think this is when I was like, holy shit, I'm playing at Universal Parallelo. And it was also like my first gig in Brazil. So the first time I went to play in Brazil was at like the biggest festival of Brazil. And I remember feeling like, wow, I'm getting somewhere now. And then the second time it happened was Boom.
boom.
Yeah. So that was more recently, 2022. I think that was really a kind of game changer for me as well. Like, whoa, Boom Festival. Like, this is, I mean, I think everybody will agree that it's the absolute kind of pinnacle of our scene, the Olympics of Psytrance, as I like to call it.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
So, yeah, that was a great feeling to be there. Yeah.
Wow, so impressive. Yeah, and completely, yeah, on Universal Parallelo, I think it's a very, very big milestone. It's supported the last too many days. So biggest talents are over there.
Iconic, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of DJs said like your life or your year changes.
Yeah.
You play Universal Parallelo and a lot of your parties are.
That automatically kind of, gives a lot more credibility, of course, to your project, and, having that in your bio and, having videos from there and all that, like, that adds a lot of credibility to your project, of course.
And then Movie Festival also is like a seat 40.
That for me is uncomparable. It's that Azora as well, let's not forget, Azora as well is, the two ones from Europe, of course. So I played Azora and Boom the same year. So I think that was like a special moment for me, back to back, Boom Festival, then Azora. So yeah, like really, super cool. Super cool experience.
Congratulations. Yeah, the next, I don't know what, that's the next is a space.
Yeah, there's, I think from there you just have to keep the momentum, You can't be like, now I've done it, now I've arrived, and that's it. Now I will get all the bookings in the world. I will, do, I've done everything I needed to do, and I can just sit back and relax, and But I think the real work starts from there. Now you've done this. Now what? You have to keep the momentum. You have to keep working.
Yeah. I think that the most difficult is to keep. Like,
That's the hard part. I think that's harder. I think to achieve is keeping that going. Year after year after that. Like keep the energy and the just not losing the steam. As I like to say. So
yeah. Not to like make like attitude that I achieve it, and now I'm
yeah,
be.
that's it. Now I can relax and just sit back. No.
No. I think that's on this music business or in music in general, you need to like like working and working. And
Yeah, man. Like there's a lot of people out there making amazing music, doing a lot, and you have to keep at it, Otherwise, it's easy to. People have short memories, man. Like, let's not have any qualms about that. Like, you sit back for a year or two, and people forget about you. You see, they don't forget, but there's always somebody who's pushing, and you have to keep up with that. It's a very competitive business, I'm gonna say. Yeah.
yeah, sure. And there's a lot of people always making music, new talents.
Yeah, new talents coming up every day, and they have all the knowledge of the latest tools and technologies. And as somebody who's like a more older person in the scene, I'm not old, but it's easy to lose sight of new technologies and things like that, and just be caught up in your old-fashioned ways of doing things. And that stops to work. You have to keep up with the trends and things like that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And what tips and recommendations do you have for artists that are fans of you and want to start into this music business?
Yeah. It's not easy. It's tough, and you have to be ready to put in the time, to put in the hours, to have resilience. Like not lose faith just because you feel like maybe you're getting creative block, or you're not getting the bookings that you want, or whatever it is. um Beyond failure there's always success, on the other side. So you just have to kind of keep fighting. You have to keep working. Be original. Put your phone away, stop scrolling, turn off the internet on your computer, and just sit and focus and put in the hours, and just do whatever it takes. Uh, that's what I want to say.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we have also a lot of distractions. If you keep on yourself on the
Exactly.
studio, you will not do nothing.
I'm like, okay, I have limited amount of time in the studio. I need to get something done. I just put my phone off on like airplane mode, and I just keep it outside the studio. And that's when I'm the most productive.
And how is your creative process? How do you start a track? How do you work in the studio?
Creative process, I think it begins with like I actually think a lot in terms of keys.
Okay.
As well. Like for me, every key has a different feeling, different mood. Like your lower keys, like your E and your D sharp, and lower keys like that, they have more deep, more dark, I want to say, kind of feeling. And then the higher you go, the more kind of open, and the more kind of how do you say, more driving almost, and like I like to make more melodic music in the higher keys, and the more deep and more dark kind of sound on the lower keys. So it starts with that. It starts with the feeling, like, okay, this is the kind of the track I feel like is maybe missing in my set. Maybe I need to have this kind of a mood. So then I'll be like, okay, let's start with the key and start making the kick and the bass in that key, and that can change. as well. It's not like, no, I have to stick to the, say, S. No, I have to stick to that. No, I can change. But I think for me, it kind of begins with what I feel like is missing in my set. Maybe some tracks are getting old, which are in a certain key or certain mood, and I want to do something new in that kind of a style. Then I'll do something like that, and then it just kind of, I just jam along, kick in bass and drums, and then I just jam. Like I just jam with synthesizers. I just jam with samples. Manipulating samples and things like that, and it just piece by piece kind of starts coming together.
Do you have the full track? Yeah, that's good.
And before you know it, you have a full track.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I asked this question because a lot of producers start with the intro, a lot of them start still in the middle.
Yeah, no, I feel like for me, it's about getting the kick in the bass going first and just having like a small section going, like maybe it's the big section, with the full drums, or maybe the section with just kick and bass and jamming with sounds, just whatever fits, at that time. And it's not always the same. It's always different. And starting from a blank slate, I think for anybody is like quite, like, whoa, like when you look at your blank project, I think even now I'm like, wow, okay, where do I start? It's always like that. And you always, because you've been doing it a certain way, for so many years, you're like, okay, how can I do something this time where I can have a different approach? Because I can be really fast and like make music really quickly with the same old like methods which I've been using, the same old synths and the same old, melodies and GOA, whatever. Like this, I try to think every time. I think like what I can do different this time. So every track can have its kind of personality. That makes sense.
I fully understand what I like about your music is like very punchy, like from the kick and the bass. But also you play a lot with the melodies and with the happiness. So I really like that because it reminds me a lot to heavy metal.
Yeah,
like, even though you have like a heavy metal guitars, the famous drum and bass, and like a killer melodies with the guitar and a killer melody on the vocal.
Yeah, I'm happy that you feel like that because I think that is subconsciously and is my approach.
Yeah, and today I'm happy that I'm going to see your full set because we play at the same stage.
Yeah, you too, brother.
Like very close.
Yeah.
You will see me play with the guitar.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I was gonna ask you about that, like how. I mean, we can leave that for a later on.
We can take it, no problem. This is a podcast also people to know you, but yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Freely.
Like to see where you're set up and how you approach.
Sure. Yeah, my story is very similar to you. I started playing the guitar. I was influenced by heavy metal when I was very young.
Okay.
Iron Maiden was my favorite band, and when I was like in junior high, I started listening to Kiss and Motley Crue and Poison and Andy Scoop.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
37.
Okay, so we're around the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started listening to the music, and as like everything, I started like playing in cover bands, and then after that, I met some friends when I was in my engineering degree.
Yeah.
And they played high trance, and we went to the clubs, and they invited me to put a guitar solo.
And this is in Monterrey, or
in Monterrey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've always been in Monterrey.
Mm-hmm.
That's my city. There you have your home, your house. Whenever you're in Mexico, you have a friend and your family over there.
Thank you.
And I started doing that merch, the guitar solo and psytrance.
Yeah.
People really like it, and my first party was with Infected Mushroom. 2009.
Yeah.
March 8th to 2009. And since that day until today, I've been making that kind of music. Like I don't put guitar to every track because it can be boring.
Yeah.
But at least live, I like to play a lot of remixes and covers from heavy metal music that I really like. And on the stage, I try to make that.
That's very cool. I think that's something which is missing, I want to say, like in the scene where not too many people are, there's Bliss, of course, I mean, I can't think of anybody else who's using live guitars on
but
stage.
Bliss,
Yeah.
Bliss, and we're sometimes infected when they
Sometimes with the van.
live show.
When they do the van.
Scassi used to do that.
Kazi used to do that.
Yeah.
But I think in today it's become a rarity. Like it's much more. I don't think lots of kids are really picking up the guitar. Also,
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid, because I like to go a lot to guitar stores,
Yeah.
or music stores. Every city I go, I like to go because I like to purchase like new gear, new something like my wireless cables. I always look for new technology because sometimes the stage,
New pedals.
new pedals, new effects. Yeah, because right now I have like my portable gear. I have a portable guitar. I'm going to show it to you because I used to travel. I have my Ibanez.
It's the one without the headstock, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, because before that I went to Brazil and everything with I have the Ibanez, the Steve Vai signature guitar.
The one with the handle.
Yes, that's my main guitar.
And it's got a whammy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't use it too much live.
Okay. But Steve Vai's signature is the Zani, right?
Yes.
With the handle.
Yes. I also have the Iron Maiden signature guitar.
Nice.
There also has one. When I record the reels, because I like to make content, I love music. I use that guitar, but it was such a pain to travel with the guitar. So I was looking for portable. I found a donor one that is like very portable, that it looks like a paddle racket.
Yeah.
I have it over there. I will show you through the podcast. Yeah, I travel with that, and I buy the effects Zoom pedal.
Yeah.
It was very good. And they go pretty well. And I'm looking for new ones.
Yeah.
But I haven't found because I used to travel with a Line 6 Pod 2.0, but it's very big with an expression pedal.
Yeah.
But sometimes now that I'm traveling with all the podcast gear and everything, I need to everything keep
condensed
to the minimal.
Yeah.
And that works and sounds good, because I can show you the after movie with the Equinox, and the guitar sounds pretty good, even though you will see the podcast is like a cell phone size. But I was looking for New Year.
Yeah.
And it's what's very funny, because sometimes I go to stores in the US. I went to a guitar center in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I was like playing guitars. And then I went to my city because I need like a new strap. I want a full black one. And I took a guitar, and some parents asked me, like they were with the kids, do you know how to play the guitar?
Yeah.
And I said, wow, what the fuck? When I was like younger, when I was like 2009, 2010, we jam at the guitar center. I was playing the guitar, and I was playing the bass and the drums. And hey, do you know?
With just random people.
Yeah. And now I think it's even harder that people play instruments.
It's harder, and as you can see, maybe you've seen the news, a lot of guitar centers are closing down around the US. That just shows that more kids are getting into just computer music and being DJs these days. And their first I think, like, even my family, I've seen, like, my younger cousins and stuff like that, they want to, their first instrument they want is a DJ controller. Back then we wanted the latest guitars, and now everyone wants to be a DJ.
Yeah, in India it's also the same. They're the same instruments.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah, that's a shame, because I think there's nothing in that lane. I love going with my friends and do some jamming and do some covers from rock and roll.
There's nothing like a bunch of guys getting together and making music, like jamming and just having fun.
Yeah, I really miss that. But things are changing. But I just said, I want to give up a different proposal, because I know how to make music and I know how to mix. But I'm a musician, so my thing that I like to offer to the scene is to play the guitar live, like do something else. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, but at least that's
it's something different. I think people like that. They're different from the same old. It's something unique. It's fun to see when you're, at a party, I suppose.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed when I played at the Equinox 1 year ago, and also with the atmosphere. People was very supportive. They like their solos, and they like the melodies.
That's great.
That's very good.
Happy to see that. Yeah.
You will see it live in a few hours.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're going to have a massive
Yeah, and it's at the pyramids, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they changed the venue, and apparently you can see it.
I saw the setup, like where they're building the stage. Right behind is the Titukan. So,
Yeah.
did I say it right?
Yeah, the one to Teotihuacan.
Titukan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I've been there.
yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Mexico a few times, so one of the times I was here with my partner, and we had time to we took a few weeks to make a holiday here. So we went, of course, to Teotihuacan, went around Mexico City a lot, the also to the Yucatan, rented a car, drove everywhere. Always nice to come here. I love it. It's one of my favorite countries, Mexico.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mexico is very good. We have very good food.
great.
We have very
It's not too different, our cultures, I think, Indians and Mexicans, I don't feel like a stranger over here, you know. We have, I think, a lot of similar values, a lot of history. We, food wise also, like you guys have a lot of spice and all that and in your food. And I feel really comfortable here. Yeah. People always say, oh, Mexico dangerous. And of course, it can be. Any place can be dangerous.
Yeah, sure.
You just can't be in the wrong place, but in general, I've been quite comfortable here. So, yeah, it's always nice to be back.
Yeah, no, it's a nice country, and as every country.
Yeah, a lot of nature as well. There's so much to see.
Yes. Yeah, we have mountains, we have beach, we have desert.
We have it for everything.
You have
Name it. You have it.
We have jungle, we have it.
And so much history with all the Mayan stuff, my God.
Yeah, it's here in Mexico City also. Oh yeah, I love my country. If they offer me to move to another country, it's like very difficult. Like to
I just have.
because I love here, I love the food, I love.
Same for me, bro. I think, yeah.
No, India, well, you live in Goa, and it's like killer place.
Yeah, I can't see myself living anywhere else. At least not in the foreseeable future.
I think it has a lot to offer. It's a very, very big country.
It is. It's huge.
It is. Yeah. And you have everything over there. You have good weather. You have good people. You have
everything is there. Everything is there. Yeah. You should come.
Yeah. I will talk to Andrew.
Yeah. Talk to them.
Yeah. This year, I'm planning to go to Europe. I want to go to Europe and make some podcasts over there. I have been talking about this from the last.
You're in the summertime for some festivals and stuff.
It's what I'm reviewing. I want to go to Brazil at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I want to go like in the summer into Europe. I want to make some podcasts over there. Go to Brazil. And that will be great for next year to go to India.
Yeah, I would say February, March is a really nice time to come. I would say February. Start in February, come for like a few weeks at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk to Andrew.
It's cheap as well, so it's easy to take out, spend a lot of days there.
I think just the flight is like...
Yeah, if you have the flight pod covered, you're good. Everything else is super cheap.
Yeah, I will look further, and it will be great if I will be Andrew.
Yeah.
I will talk to him. We talk like not that much every day, but at least once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And we give some messages, and he's traveling.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. We had a great time at the atmosphere. Actually, we played.
Okay. Yeah.
It was very good, and we made a podcast, and it was pretty nice. And yeah, I like a lot the work he lives. Like he has he lives on the beach and very calm. And I love where he lives. But yeah, it will be great to go to India next year. You will see me. So
Yeah. Love to have you there.
Yeah, I love to know. Okay, and besides music and everything, just so people know you, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Well, hobbies, I like to go for hikes. I'm a big nature lover. So I like to go to the beach and we have a lot of nature in Goa. We go for a lot of jungle and waterfall hikes and things like that. And I like to work out as well. I think that's something lately I've been getting into. Like my partner is a fitness instructor. So she kind of keeps me on my toes. And you better get fit, getting younger. and how our lifestyles can be, being musicians, a lot of traveling, a lot of parties. So I think it's important to after a certain point to like watch out for your health. So I think lately I've been focusing on that, a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very important. The fitness is, and also where you live, if you love nature, is the best. You want to go to the beach, you have it. You want to go hiking, you have it.
Anything, yeah.
You want to go swimming, you have it.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, where I live some in the mountains.
Yeah.
My city is inside the mountains, so yeah, I love also go to hike and go to the nature. Like to run
And that feeds the creative process as well, doesn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For me, it's very important to work out. I like to
Yeah.
work out in the mornings.
Yeah.
So for me, it helps me a lot. If I see like a movie day, like not too much sun, I like to go and run
Yeah.
and have like a
I think that just makes you a better artist as well. Like the days where I've been active and I got my, good workout and diet and all that in, I feel much more energized, much more creative, generally, like just more inspired. The brain works a little bit better,
yeah. And I think you need to go out. I think it's always good to be.
Yeah, it's not have a balance, always have a balance. So that's also another thing to say to the new producers and DJs out there, is that have a balance in your life, go out, do other things as well, not just sit in the studio and be a studio rat,
Yeah. You need to go out so people also can know you. I like to go to local.
Go
parties.
out and go to parties even if you're not playing. Go out, meet people, connect to people. Don't be shy to go up to artists and chat with them. I think in my early days, like I learned a lot from DJs and who were kind of touring India, like Ace Ventura, one of my really good friends now. Back then, I was just a fan, and I remember one of the first parties I attended in my city was Ace Ventura, and he was just sitting at the backstage, and nobody was really around, and I just went and had a chat with him. I don't think he remembers. We spoke about this. I was in his home recently. We made 2 tracks together. I was in his home in Switzerland. So yeah, I was just thinking about how that full circle kind of happened, So what I was saying before was, don't be afraid to go up to artists who you maybe admire and just chat with them. There's a lot to learn, Most people are really nice in the scene, so don't be shy.
Yeah, we're people.
Yeah.
We drink, we eat,
Right?
we sleep.
Where's the people,
I agree. When I started this project, I also was a little bit ashamed, like how to approach to artists.
Yeah.
Because,
You don't want to bother also, but if you do the right approach, there's a way to do it as well. And, I think people recognize that. Yeah.
And well, now I'm also happy that a lot of people that I approach, they already know or happen to use like a friend or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at the beginning, and
Yeah.
they're very ashamed, like, hey.
Yeah. But that just shows how you're passionate you are, it's a good thing to also feel like that, because that just feels, it's a natural feeling, so yeah, just don't be afraid, guys. Yeah.
And a lot of people's going to approach it today for sure.
Yeah. I'm always happy to talk to Mexican fans. Yeah.
And do you know some Spanish or only English?
I wish. It's a great language to learn, So much of the world also speaks Spanish. And I wish I knew just a few words, but yeah.
You need to come a little bit more. Yeah, but here a lot of people in Mexico speak English because we're in the United States. So
Right. Yeah. So Brazil, it's a bit harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil is harder language for sure.
Yeah, Portuñol, they speak Portuñol, like the mix with Portuguese and Spanish. But yeah, a lot of words are similar, but
You can speak some, like, you can get away with the Spanish there.
yeah, they can understand you. Not fully, but at least there's some
Better than
words.
English.
Yes, yes. When I was if you are in Sao Paulo,
Yeah.
like it's a big one. I was Rio de Janeiro, always they understand that you speak English or Spanish, but when it was in the party, yeah, it was like a little bit difficult. Even though that I'm from Mexico and speak Spanish, I was like obrigado.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's really tough. Yeah, like for English speakers, definitely, like, there are times when, you know, the whole festival crew and everybody's sitting, you're probably having dinner or something, and everybody's talking in Portuguese, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, don't understand a word, you know?
Yeah.
You're just sitting there.
You need to be quiet. That happens a lot when a lot of Israel people are just talking in Hebrew. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, and there I reply, just say, okay,
Yeah.
speak your language.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Hopefully soon they'll have something which they already have, but I think something more streamlined, which you just pop in your ear, and it's like real time translations going on.
I thought
They already have this, but I don't know how good this technology is so far. It's not commercialized as much. Like, it's something which I think soon will be inbuilt into earbuds.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like the next generation, later generations of your AirPods will have this built in. So, man, like, you're sitting on a table with, you know, non-language speakers, like of your native language or whatever, and you just have your earbuds, everybody's just talking freely.
Yeah.
You speak in English, they're listening in Portuguese, and they're replying in Portuguese, and you are hearing in English. Simple.
Yeah, I saw that actually a few weeks ago there. Yeah, because I found out that there's in some cinemas in the United States that there was an app, I don't remember the app.
Yeah.
And if you're not an English speaker, you put your AirPods and you download the application on your iPhone and you put like, I don't know, AMC theater, Miami, 5 p.m. this movie, and it synchronizes and you hear the
No way.
Yeah, you hear the
Really?
movie. Yes.
Wow.
I hear the movie. Yeah, because I'm a tech guy, so I love to read technology,
Yeah.
and I see that and that blew my mind.
That's amazing.
And a few days ago, I saw that they will do that feature to the AirPods that you listen like in other language and it makes the translation. So so you can tell. Because right now it's like speak.
Yeah. Like right now, when the guy picked me up at the airport, it was like this. I had to communicate with him, like, you know, speaking on the Google Translate.
Technology and AI is
Oh yeah, it's so fast, man. Like now in the last few years, especially, like the jump that we're seeing in the technology is insane.
Yeah, maybe if I say next year I go to India or Goa, we're going to have that technology and I'm going to be like a
Well,
Okay.
over there you'll be comfortable because you speak perfect English, and most people speak English there, man.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Everywhere you go, it's very easy to live there. You know, that's why a lot of people like to come there also, because you can just get around there easily. Everybody speaks, understands.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, my brother wants to send you about this time and share your story. What are your social media where people can find you?
Yeah, so Instagram, of course, STARLAB Music. Just type that. You can find me there. That's where I'm most active. I just also started a broadcast channel. I like to share some behind the scenes stuff there as well. So mainly there, man. I think that's where I'm most kind of active. Yeah.
Okay, I will invite everyone to follow you. Thanks again. I will see myself. I will see you soon at the party. We need to destroy that.
Yeah, man. Looking forward.
Los Nitronitos episode en Spanish. A todos los que escucharon este podcast, denle like y sigan STARLAB en todas sus redes sociales, aunque ahí se los comparto. Denle like para que esto siga creciendo, comenten, compartan, para que este podcast y toda la escena mexicana y todos sigan creciendo. Gracias a Omirix por su oportunidad de regresar a los talentos de Regionals y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. Hasta luego.
Namaste.